40 years old is a financial inflection point. Now, what do I mean? I'm 39, I'm turning 40 this year, and I've seen it since I started in this business over 10 years ago. Those people, everyone, almost everyone, reaches a financial inflection point at 40 within a few years, but it's roughly that age group right now for me. But those of you who are in your 30s, 40s, even 50s can see this, that you get a point where if you've been doing things right since you were 20, you're finally getting to a point where things are getting easier and easier and easier financially. If you've been doing things wrong since you were 20, you're now at 40 and things aren't really getting that much easier. And you're still treading water and oftentimes getting harder because you have other priorities, kids, health, etc., that you can't focus on the financials, or you haven't been focusing on the financials. But you hit this inflection point if you've been doing things right since the time you got out of school until you're 40, things are getting easier. You're probably way better positioned for your car purchases. You may have a home, you may have some equity in that house, you may hopefully have been saving for retirement in your retirement accounts. But you're getting to a point where your income should be stepping up each year. If you have kids, they may be finally getting out of diapers, walking, actually getting out of the house and going to school instead of daycare or preschool. And at this point, your budget should be looking much, much better month to month, year to year. And you're going to start seeing things much easier a decade from now. That doesn't mean you can slack off and just coast. By no means does this truly mean you're over the hill. But you do need to be thinking about where that extra cash flow is going, because it's time to put things in high gear, because just because your cash flow is easy doesn't mean you're financially ready to retire. You've got a long way to go before that. But you are at a point where you can take a little breather and say, all right, now let's really start looking long term. When you get to this point, you're not going to believe it until you're there, and you're going to finally feel that tailwind, like you're running or biking or riding or sailing, and you've got the wind to your back, and it's actually making life easier and easier going forward. Don't coast, keep the sails up and keep plowing forward. When you're 30 or even in your 20s, if you're doing the financial right things, so to speak, you're going to look at the guy or gal next to you and say, they're spending all this, they're getting to enjoy it, they got a bigger TV, they got a nicer phone, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, you get to 40 and you realize they haven't been doing the right financial things. And you have been, and you've been sacrificing for years. And now they can't catch you. You're way ahead of them because they've been buying the shiny objects, and you've been doing the discipline of saying, hey, we got to stay within these budgets. We buy some stuff, we enjoy our life, we go on trips, but we're not splurging, we're not spending the unnecessary. And that is what the inflection point is about. It's the difference between those who are doing the right thing and those who are not. And you may not be able to tell in your 20s and 30s, but by the time you get to 40, that group that's doing it right is going to take off and leave the other group in the dust. And that's where you get your true millionaires and retirees that are happy in retirement. They put in the work in their 20s and 30s that didn't show up until their 40s and 50s. I hope you're in that group. I'd love to help you, whichever group you're in. But if you're in that group and things are getting easier and you've got cash flow, give me a call, go to the website, shoot me an email, text me, because I'd love to help you make that last and really make you like nobody else. Let's make you reach those goals that other people are just going to dream about for the next decade. I'm Justin Struble with BSG Advisors. We're not brokers, we're fixers.